Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Russian missiles pound power plants in central and western Ukraine. 4 thermal power facilities hit in strikes. Zelensky says gas transit supplying EU targeted. Gaza aid from Cyprus resumes after pause following aid workers' killings. Humanitarian ship carrying 400 tons of food aid leaves for Gaza. And the political battleground in India heats up with leaders from various parties crisscrossing the nation to sway voters. And more medals for India in Archery World Cup as it won gold medal in recurve men's team event. Also bagged bronze medal in recurve mixed team event. Russia launched a barrage of missiles against Ukraine overnight, targeting country's energy infrastructure. The airstrike, carried out with long-range missiles, including cruise missiles, was the 4th large-scale aerial assault targeting the power system since March 22nd. Ukraine's Air Force said that Russia had launched 34 missiles against Ukraine overnight, of which 21 had been shot down by Ukrainian air defenses. Ukraine's state-run oil and gas firm Naftogaz, it said Russia had attacked its facilities, but that no one was hurt and supplies to Ukrainian consumers and clients were unaffected. Ukraine has lost 80% of its thermal power generation and 35% of its hydroelectric capacity during Russian attacks. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has denounced the Russian attack on his country's energy infrastructure. In his nightly video address, Zelensky emphasized that the assault specifically targeted gas facilities crucial for supplying the European Union. He highlighted that the significance of these gas facilities for maintaining the uninterrupted supply of gas to the European Union is essential.
We saw another massive missile strike today, 34 Russian rockets of various types. The main target was the energy sector, various facilities in the industry, both electricity and gas transit facilities, in particular those gas facilities that are crucial to ensuring safe delivery to the European Union. We managed to shoot down some of the missiles today, and I'm grateful to each of our soldiers who were really accurate and responded in time.
Zelensky reiterated his plea for defensive weapons system, particularly Patriot missile systems, to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities.
It's important that all the new agreements with partners that are already in place to strengthen our air defense, every initiative by friends of Ukraine to help, in particular with the search and provision of Patriots, to make sure it all takes effect as soon as possible. Ukraine needs 7 systems, and this is the minimum.
Now, Russian Defense Ministry on Sunday said that its air defense systems destroyed 17 drones launched by Ukraine. As per the ministry's statement, 3 of the Ukraine-launched drones were downed over the Kaluga region south of Moscow, while others in some other parts of the country. It further said that there were no casualties or damage. Kyiv officials said that targeting Russia's military, energy and transport infrastructure undermines Moscow's war effort. Well, aid shipments to Gaza from Cyprus resumed late on Friday. The ship was carrying food after a pause following Israel's killing of 7 aid workers. Now, the World Central Kitchen NGO had paused aid to review its activity in the territory after the early April attack, halting direct shipments into Gaza from Cyprus. The US has started construction of a floating jetty on Gaza's Mediterranean coast that will enable aid deliveries pre-screened in Cyprus with Israeli oversight. Once that aid reaches Gaza, it will still need to pass through Israeli checkpoints on land. And dignitaries from Arab nations gathered in Riyadh on Saturday to discuss the situation in Gaza ahead of a World Economic Forum summit in the Saudi Arabian city, Riyadh, starting today. Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud met with a number of representatives. The leaders gathered ahead of the summit to talk about recent developments in Gaza, with thoughts focused on working towards a ceasefire. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken will be next visiting Saudi Arabia on Monday and Tuesday, and he will be meeting with regional partners and discuss efforts to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of Israeli hostages. Blinken will take effort to get humanitarian assistance being delivered to Gaza, increase and underscore the importance of ensuring that increase is sustained. Blinken will also emphasize the importance of preventing the conflict from spreading and discuss ongoing efforts to achieve lasting peace and security in the region. Though Blinken is not scheduled to visit Israel on this trip. During his two-day visit, Blinken will participate in a ministerial meeting of the Gulf Cooperation Council, working to advance security coordination in the region. He will also attend the World Economic Forum's special meeting on global collaboration, growth and energy for development. Now, the UN Security Council on Saturday expressed deep concern over Sudan crisis. The Security Council, in a statement, expressed their deep concern over an imminent offensive by the Rapid Support Forces and their allied militias against the city of Al-Fasher. The UNSC called on the Sudanese armed forces and Rapid Support Forces to end the buildup of military forces and to take steps to de-escalate the situation. War erupted in Sudan 1 year ago between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary RSF, creating the world's largest displacement crisis. Al-Fasher is the last major city in the vast Western Darfur region is not under control of the RSF. The RSF and its allies swept through 4 other Darfur state capitals last year and were blamed for a campaign of ethnically driven killings against non-Arab groups and other abuses in West Darfur. Now, SpaceX tied its rocket reuse record on Saturday, and it was the 20th launch for this Falcon 9's first stage, according to NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The launch is aimed to help connect people all around the world with high-speed, low-latency internet, send a lunar lander to the moon, and more. In total, this Falcon delivered more than 228 metric tons to Earth orbit and beyond. The launch has been added to the Galileo constellation, Europe's equivalent of the United States Global Positioning System. 28 Galileo satellites have launched to date. The Galileo satellites reside in medium Earth orbit, 14,430 miles above planet Earth. Now, weather update from across the globe now. And starting from Bangladesh, where Bangladesh Meteorological Department said that respite from the prevailing heat wave condition across Bangladesh is unlikely, and it has turned very severe in some parts of the country. The department predicted that the ongoing severe to very severe and mild to moderate heat wave sweeping over various parts of Bangladesh is likely to continue. So far, at least 12 people have died of suspected heat stroke in the last few days. Guidelines were also issued on Friday with respect to extreme heat conditions. Meanwhile, the Bangladesh government has announced the reopening of primary schools starting this Sunday. Bangladesh's highest temperature was recorded at 42.7 degrees Celsius in Chuadanga in West Bangladesh near the Indian border on Friday. While in China, at least 5 people were killed and 33 others injured in a strong tornado that hit Guangzhou, the capital city of South China's Guangdong province, on Saturday. The authorities said over 140 factory buildings were damaged, with no collapse of residential houses. Guangzhou has been witnessing tornadoes at level 3 intensity. The tornado was followed by multiple days of heavy rains lashing southern China, deadly floods and threatening to upend the lives of millions as rescuers rushed to evacuate residents trapped by rising waters. While heavy rains across Kenya have killed at least 76 people and displaced thousands, residents of the East African nation were still coming to terms after a truck loaded of people was swept away by raging floodwaters of Kwamosi River. So far, 11 survivors were pulled out from the river, while 7 bodies have been recovered downstream. Search for more bodies continues, and calling a situation grim, the weather authorities of Kenya warned of more heavy rains for the coming week and issued flood alerts. While the highest temperature in Brazil occurred in December last year instead of the usual summer months of January or February, which climate experts say is due to the weakening of El Nino in South America from last year. El Nino phenomenon has doubled the rainfall in southern Brazil, and in some parts temperatures have risen sharply while rainfall has decreased significantly compared to previous years. According to experts' forecast, from May to July this year, the El Nino phenomenon is expected to gradually weaken, whereas in the second half of this year, a La Nina phenomenon is very likely to occur, causing below average sea surface temperatures in the central and eastern tropical waters of the Pacific Ocean. All right, let's take a look at other stories making news across the globe. Well, an earthquake of magnitude 6.2 on the Richter scale struck the Indonesian capital Jakarta on Saturday. The quake was originated 102 kilometers south of Banjar at a depth of 65 kilometers. No reports of casualties or tsunami alert warning reported yet. Sudden earthquake tremors are not uncommon in Indonesia, as it sits on a vulnerable quake active zone called the Pacific Ring of Fire. As spring breathes life into the nature, golden snub-nosed monkey families are venturing out with their 30 fluffy newborns at Zuzi National Nature Reserve in northwest China's Shaanxi province. Spring offers abundant food and is ideal for the healthy growth of new babies. Consequently, the golden snub-nosed monkey families migrate to lower altitude areas to forage. And rare violin bag and a gold pocket watch recovered from Titanic goes on auction in England. The gold pocket watch, which belonged to an American financier, John Jacob Astor, who was one of the world's richest men at the time, gets sold for £9,000. And Hollywood actors arrive at the red carpet of American Film Institute's 49th Lifetime Achievement Award. The institute paid a special honor to Australian actor Nicole Kidman. Nicole is one of the youngest ever recipients to achieve AFI award. The actress began her journey with her performances in thriller Dead Calm and miniseries Bangkok Hilton before breaking into Hollywood. All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. We will show you how political parties are campaigning ahead of May 7 polls in India. A drone show and cultural event was organized to create awareness amongst voters in India. Ace tennis player Rafael Nadal begins his clay court farewell with straight set win over Alex de Minaur in the second round of Madrid Open.
Team Pole Pulse has reached Guwahati. Welcome to the gateway to northeast of India. Guwahati is one of the fastest growing and one of the largest cities, port riverine city on the southernmost banks of mighty Brahmaputra River.
ভোট দিব লাগে কি নাগরিকৰ কাৰণে নাগৰিকত্ব পাৱাৰ কাৰণে দিব লাগে
एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन का कुछ काम हो स्किल डेवलपमेंट हो वो सब मुद्दे देख के ही हम लोग वोट करें
अभी जब जो डेवलप दिखा रहा है तो हमको तो उसी को सुनोगे
In Assam and Northeast, the people are not very much interested in the political issues.
The youth bulge of Northeast is concerned, or youth electorate of Northeast is concerned.
It's our right to vote and we need to vote for a change.
डेवलपमेंट के लिए तो वोट देना जरूरी है सबको.
असम बदल गया है, असम बदल रहा है.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. And first up, let's get you the latest on the world's largest democratic election in India. Electioneering picked up pace for the third phase of India's general elections. 95 constituencies will go to polls in this phase on May 7th. The figure includes the Betul constituency in Madhya Pradesh, where the voting process initially planned for April 26 was adjourned due to death of BSP candidate. The third phase of the elections will witness 12 states and union territories participating in the democratic process. A total of 1,351 candidates contesting the elections in phase 3. The figure excludes the sole BJP candidate in Surat, who was elected unopposed. And campaigning for the third phase of Lok Sabha elections is gaining momentum as the poll fever goes high in India. Political parties gearing up to woo voters, and India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a public rally in Belagavi in the state of Karnataka on Sunday. Later in the day, PM Modi will address rallies in Uttara Kannada district, Davanagere city and Bellary. Non-resident Indians from countries abroad are organizing a car rally from Ahmedabad to Surat in support of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The rally has been organized by the Foreign Affairs Department of BJP. Indian Home Minister Amit Shah is attending public meetings in Etawah, Mainpuri, Kasganj and Kanpur city today. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is in Gujarat to address a press conference today, and later in the day he will address public meetings in central Gujarat, Khambhat and Bhavnagar. BJP President JP Nadda will visit Odisha for election campaigning. He will address a public meeting at Behrampur of Ganjam district and later will hold a meeting with party workers at Nabarangpur. Uttar Pradesh's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will address a public meeting in Etah. Leaders of opposition parties are holding rallies to garner support in favor of their party candidates. India's opposition leader Rahul Gandhi will visit Odisha and Daman in Diu to campaign for party candidates and address rallies. The Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayab Singh Saini, is likely to address a public meeting in Panchkula of Ambala, Lok Sabha constituency today. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann will address a public meeting in Punjab's Barnala on Sunday. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister and YSRCP President YS Jagan Mohan Reddy will start his election campaign from today. Alright, as election fervor is gripping the country, for more on that, we have been joined by our correspondent Shama Mishra, who is joining us from Maharashtra. Shama, tell us about what is the atmosphere there and constituencies to look out for, what are people saying and what is the pressing concern?
Well, Siddharth, now it will be the third phase, even in Maharashtra. So 11 seats are going to go for polling in the third phase. As we know for the fact that temperatures in Maharashtra are soaring for real, and the temperatures of the political scenario are also soaring. So the 11 seats that would be going for polling in the third phase would be Solapur, Sangli, Kolhapur, Hatkarangle, Raigad, Sindhudurg, Ratnagiri and various other. Baramati is one seat that is really closely monitored by all political parties in Maharashtra, and we understand that since there has been a divide, there has been two factions of one party. So this time around it is very interesting to watch this particular seat, because Baramati seat has always been of Supriya Sule from the NCP, Sharad Pawar. But this time around in front of Supriya Sule, there will be Sunetra Pawar, wife of Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra Ajit Pawar, and she is the candidate for the Mahayuti. Apart from that, we are also understanding that Satara would be also going for polling, and the descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the 15th descendant, Chhatrapati Udayaraj Bhosle, he would be contesting from the Mahayuti side, and opposite him would be Shashikant Shinde. So this is also interesting to watch. Apart from that, one more information I'd like to add, there will be several rallies in which Prime Minister Narendra Modi would also be addressing several rallies in Maharashtra, and we are also going to see star campaigners like from the MVA, Uddhav Thackeray, Sharad Pawar. They will also be addressing various rallies. Back to you, Siddharth.
Election Commission of India, Shama, is organizing various initiatives to make the voters aware, to actually appeal to them to come out of the houses and vote. I would like to ask you that what remains the pressing concerns there if we talk about the entire Maharashtra? People will be coming out of their houses to cast their ballots. Why?
Well, it is first of all their right to exercise the vote, and people now understand the value of votes. that it can really, be a boosting factor, be a contributing factor to the development of the nation. But as I've already, told in the beginning that the temperature in Maharashtra, even in the entire country, is really soaring, and that is a deterrent for most of the voters. But this time around, each time there are several facilities which are made available, but this time around there are special facilities made available for the voters, and the water facility, the toilets facility, even creche at many places have been given. Apart from that, door-to-door campaign are also being organized. A very interesting facility this time around is that people who are 85 years plus, and they cannot walk and they cannot walk out of their house, special facilities have been given for them, that they can cast their vote from their home itself. So these facilities are really encouraging people to come out and cast their vote, and especially in the entire Maharashtra there are several skates, dramas, plays, cycle rallies.
Definitely various facilities have been organized for the voters there in the state, so that they can cast their ballots while being at home as well. We'll keep taking your updates, Shama, but for now we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for your analysis. Now let's take a look at other election related stories making news across India. Well, Delhi Congress Chief Arvinder Singh Lavli resigned from his post ahead of parliamentary polls. Lavli submitted resignation letter to Mallikarjun Kharge, citing the alliance with Aam Aadmi Party as his reason. Lavli had joined the BJP in 2017 but returned to Congress just months after quitting Congress. The Bharatiya Janata Party has fielded 2611 prosecutor Ujjwal Nikam as its candidate from Mumbai North Central seat in the state of Maharashtra. Nikam is known for legal work in 1993 Bombay bombings, Ajmal Kasab's case in Mumbai 2611 attack case. He had received Padma Shri as well. As the electioneering heats up for the upcoming phases of parliamentary polls, a cycle rally was organized in India's Guwahati to create awareness amongst the voters. The rally was organized as part of SWEEP, a flagship program of Election Commission of India to promote voter awareness and voter literacy in the country. Well, a drone show and cultural event organized as part of the systematic voters education and electoral participation activity for the general elections 2024 becomes feast in the eyes of onlookers in Ahmedabad. The initiative marked as a creative approach to spread voter awareness. There's a quaint little village situated on the banks of the Brahmaputra river, about 35 kilometers from Guwahati city, where it's not unusual to wake up to the sound of a rhythmic clack-clack of a flying shuttle on a frame loom. The village of Swalkuchi is the textile center of Assam, the place that gives you the gorgeous end products of Assam silk. Residents here are preparing for the upcoming third phase elections on May 7th, eager to make their voices count. Watch this special report by our correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya.
Swalkuchi, known as the textile hub of Assam, is renowned for its exquisite skilled products and fondly called the Manchester of the East. Positioned along the northern shores of the Brahmaputra river, it boasts of rich legacy of weaving that spans centuries.
Welcome to Swalkuchi, nestled along the banks of the majestic Brahmaputra river. It is the textile hub of Assam, renowned for producing exquisite Assam silk products that captivate the world with their beauty. Traditionally, weavers in this region crafted clothing for personal use or local markets on a small scale. However, in recent years, the landscape has evolved. Commercialization has taken hold. Rising cost of silk thread have forced many traditional weavers to join cluster factories as wage earners. Swalkuchi residents are gearing up to vote on May 7th, eager to ensure their voices are heard.
During this election, our focus should be that our sericulture should be preserved, because our sericulture is the pride of the Northeast and pride of Assam. Assam silk is the pride of and identity of Assam. That's why our weavers are owners and owners are weavers basically. So if there is certain possibilities, if there are certain propaganda during certain agenda during this Lok Sabha election, our weavers will be benefited and weavers will focus during this towards their commitment of this culture of the India.
Amidst these challenges, hope shines bright. The state government's announcement of an official trademark for Swalkuchi silk products marks a significant step in combating counterfeit goods, ensuring the integrity of this age-old craft. Additionally, the introduction of a silk yarn bank promises to alleviate the burden of fluctuating thread costs, providing weavers with access to a variety of materials to fuel their creativity. This village continues to weave dreams on its looms, preserving a legacy that transcends time.
In Swalkuchi, the art of weaving transcends the barriers of community, religion and gender. Here in many households, both men and women engage in various aspects of the weaving process, from setting up the loom to spinning yarn and weaving fabric. As they participate in the Lok Sabha election, these weavers see it as a way to assert their presence and protect their cherished culture and heritage. With camera person Naveen, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for DD India from Guwahati, Assam.
Well, double delight for India at the Archery World Cup as it won gold medal in recurve men's team event, also bagging bronze medal in recurve mixed team event. The men's recurve team of Tarun, Dheeraj and Praveen did it in style, beating powerhouse South Korea 5-1 in the final. The South Korean team have been boasting of 4 Olympic gold medals between themselves. Meanwhile, Indian pair of Dheeraj Bommadewara and Ankita Bakat won bronze medal in recurve mixed team event. The Indian duo beat Mexican team Valencian Grande is 6-0 in bronze medal match. Deepika Kumari will also be in action in the women's recurve individual semis later this afternoon. Also in tennis, Rafael Nadal reached the third round at the Madrid Open with an impressive straight set win over Australian Alex de Minaur. The Spaniard won 7-6, 6-3 to take revenge on the opponent who knocked him out of the Barcelona Open 10 days back. Five-time champion Nadal is playing on Madrid clay for the final time in what he expects to be the last season of his career. He will face Pedro Cachin next after the Argentine beat American 12th seed Francis Tiafoe. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.